Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts, Josh Stevens, Tim Thompson, and Tom Schultz. Woo!
Welcome back to another episode of the Pony Cake Sports Podcast. I am your host this evening, Tim Thompson. Josh is out on a little bit of a hiatus. He's somewhere on the West Coast. He's been at the 49ers camp, I believe, the Raiders camp. He's been a little bit all over. He is out this evening. So it is just me and my friend and yours, Tom Schultz. Tom, how are you doing?
Tim, I'm doing very good. I'm excited for the episode we're doing. You know, in the next couple of weeks, we got some of these expert drafts where we'll be drafting as a team. So we got to get used to this. We don't always agree, but we're pretty good at talking things out and trying to come to a consensus. We've had a lot of success over the years doing these expert leagues, and we're going to dominate again just like we did last year.
Tom just alluded to it. We are giving you an expert mock draft. Listen, we may disagree on a lot of things, but when we put our heads together, we dominate. We give you fantastic fantasy football advice all year long, unlike some of these other jabronis. Last year, our Pro-Am league that we were in, we beat some of the guys from the NFL Network. We beat a lot of the other podcasts. I think we finished third. We were the number one overall seed going into the playoffs.
We were 11-2.
Lost in the semis.
Points.
Stuff like that happens, but finishing third, you know what third place is? It's money. You're at least playing for free, if not in the money. We are giving you solid advice. As always, like I said, we are Pony Keg Sports. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at Pony Keg Sports. Josh, follow him and his travels across this great United States of America at Pony Keg Sports. Follow Tom on Twitter at Pony_Keg_Tom. And you can follow me at Fight Talk Tim. And as always, our sponsors, big thank you. We appreciate you at Rogue Energy. They are the premier energy supplement. If you want a pre-workout, if you want something to replace your Red Bull, replace your Monster, just something to give you a pick-me-up to make you feel good without making you feel like you're coked out of your mind, Rogue Energy is the energy drink for you.
And use promo code PKS at checkout. You'll receive 10% off. Right now they got a special going on. If you spend over $30, I believe you get free shipping, which is a good deal.
I feel like I've been doing an okay job replacing Josh, making sure to give our Twitter handles, look at our sponsors. I have forgotten our promo code, and that's how we get credit. That's how unselfish I am, you know. But Tom is right. At PKS, you get a discount and spend over $30. It is free shipping for you. Make sure to check them out. But as we move on here, like I said, this is our pro mock draft, if you will. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Our official mock draft. Listen, we are doing a standard 12-team PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, a flex, tight end, defense, kicker. This is what most leagues look like.
Yep.
Tom, I put us at pick number 6. Dead in the middle. We're not going to get the guy we want ever. We're just going to have to pick the right. But pick number 6 is the best or worst pick, depending on how good you are at drafting. Yep. You don't get a snake. You don't get a double up. You have to be a good drafter to be right there dead in the middle. So let's start it off. Pick 1 went Todd Gurley. Pick 2, Lev Bell. Pick 3, David Johnson. Pick 4, Zeke Elliott. Pick 5, Antonio Brown. This is how all PPR drafts should be starting. If it doesn't look like this, someone in your league is a moron. That's the guy you're looking to trade rape if he didn't pick one of these 5 guys. But we are here now. Tom, let's talk about it. There's 2 wide receivers. There's 2 running backs. Listen, 2 wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins arguably should be drafted above Antonio Brown right now. That's the debate, right? Should he go in front of Antonio Brown because he finished the PPR number 1 wide receiver in 2017. And then you have Odell Beckham Jr. coming off of an injury. Potentially, it sounds like he'll get a new contract potentially before the season starts, if not. But it sounds like everything's going well there. He's happy. Odell Beckham Jr., shockingly, has done all the right things this offseason. Showed up to camps on time, said all the right things. Dude's going to get paid. And then the 2 running backs. Alvin Kamara has to deal with Melvin Ingram's suspension through the first 4 games. And Saquon Barkley, my friend and yours, I love me some Saquon. Tom, who are you taking?
If this was my personal draft, I'd be taking Saquon. Look, it might not be the popular pick, but I think the pick makes sense. Out of everyone that's left, when I'm picking at 6, I want a running back. In the first round, I think it's almost essential that you get a running back this year. Running backs, especially running backs that finish top 5 in scoring, which I think Saquon Barkley can do this year, they win you championships. They are called bell cows for a reason. They lead you to fantasy glory. And Saquon Barkley, he's something we really haven't seen before. Coming out of college, he's a pristine route runner already. Very good hands, excellent receiver. Can run between the tackles. I think that offensive line for the New York Giants is much improved. He's going to be running behind Nate Solder and Will Hernandez all day, every day, and I think he's going to have a monster year this year. I think he's going to come. I think he'll have over 1,500 total yards. Could get double-digit touchdowns, and I think he's a lock for over 50 receptions. I think he's a clear-cut RB1 this year.
I was against, in my mock drafts, the New York Giants taking Saquon Barkley because I felt like they could have addressed other needs. With that said, looking at their team right now, the addition of Nate Soldier, the weapons that they have on offense in OBJ, in Sterling Shepard, in Evan Ingram, what they've built there, and having a stud quarterback in Eli.
He's not stud.
He's not Tom Brady,
no.
But when it comes down to it, how many Super Bowls does Eli Manning have?
He's got 2.
He's got 2 Super Bowl championships. He's proven when it comes down to it, he does what needs to be done. I love Saquon Barkley this year. You talk about Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, guys who have been, these are the second coming. These are the studs. These are the future. Saquon is more highly touted than both of those guys coming out of college. It could be a case where everybody's wrong. There is no way in hell, if I'm in the middle of this draft right here, that I'm passing on a Saquon Barkley. Tom? We're taking Saquon.
Let's lock it in.
Lock it in.
There are people worried about rookie running backs, thinking they're not worth a first-round pick. The last 3 seasons, we've seen a lot of stud running backs come to the NFL. And there's been 8 running backs the last 3 years who are rookies who finished top 12 in scoring. So it happens quite often. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. That's right. I mean, you've seen the success that has been had. Honestly, I just don't see how you look at, especially with everything. Listen, as we go through preseason, things may change, but everything that you're hearing, Saquon is adapting to the NFL game. Everything that he's going to be able to catch the ball, he's going to be on the field every time. The New York Giants drafted him because they've seen Ezekiel Elliott do so well through his two seasons.
2, yeah.
2 seasons, 2.5, 1.5 if you count a suspension, but. That's why they brought him in, and I fully expect him to do big things. Right after we draft Saquon, the order goes DeAndre Hopkins at 7, Alvin Kamara at 8, Odell Beckham Jr. at 9, Julio Jones at 10, Kareem Hunt at 11, Melvin Gordon at 12, Leonard Fournette at 2-1. That's the other guy that Saquon's been compared to in terms of how highly touted they were. Fournette, big-time name coming out of college. Keenan Allen at 2-2. Delvin Cook at 2-3, Michael Thomas at 2-4, Devontae Adams at 2-5, and AJ Green at 2-6. So we're up. We have one running back filled. The names on the board right now that they're recommending for us. Obviously, Tom, if I don't mention someone that you want to draft, make sure to tell me. I'm just giving you the names that they're feeding me right here. Again, 1 running back this time, and then 3 wide receivers. The 1 running back that they're recommending, Christian McCaffrey. Hard to argue with that.
Did Dalvin go off the board?
Delvin went off the board already. Delvin went at 2-3. So it's Christian McCaffrey, or they're recommending Mike Evans, Eugene Hilton, T.Y. Some of you may know of him that way. And then Adam Thielen.
What other running backs are available? You know how to look at that?
Let's see if I do. But yes, here we go. Hold on. So running back, we have Christian McCaffrey, Jerick McKinnon, Devonta Freeman, Jordan Howard, Joe Mixon, Shady McCoy, Alex Collins, Kenyon Drake, Darius Geis, Jay Ajayi.
For me this year, I really like hitting running back early and often, especially with the flex. Kind of going into that 0 wide receiver look this year. I think it's essential to get those running backs,
especially in the mid rounds.
Yes. You need to get the running backs early and often, and kind of like to pepper the wide receiver group 6th through 10th round. I'd suggest Christian McCaffrey here. I think PPR leagues, he's almost a lock to have over 70 receptions this year. His usage should go up. What are you thinking?
I think it's a little bit surprising that Devonta Freeman isn't even being suggested to us.
Yeah.
Kind of a notorious top 12 running back, top 14 running back over the last 3 years. Had a little bit of injury issues over his career, but definitely surprised that an Adam Thielen is being suggested over a Devonta Freeman. With that said, I don't know how you steer away from Christian McCaffrey. What he showed last year, the amount of, like you said, in a PPR league, how you can just not take Christian McCaffrey right away. He can run the ball. He's going to get his opportunities. He is a valuable part of that offense. I am interested to see how Greg Olsen being back healthy affects a Christian McCaffrey. But at the very worst, I mean, you're not playing a Christian McCaffrey. Even if you find someone better in late rounds, he'll be your flex, and he's a high-end flex. Yeah. He's a great number 2 or flex every single time. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey as well. Tom, we've agreed Christian McCaffrey off the board.
It's been easy so far. It'll probably get more difficult. We'll probably have to make some tough decisions later on. Probably we will. Let's move on here. Through our draft, we take Christian McCaffrey after that at 2-8. The ageless one, Larry Fitzgerald. Jerick McKinnon goes at 2-9. Devonta Freeman at 2-10. Jordan Howard at 2-11. Rob Gronkowski, 2-12. If he's healthy and playing right, he's worth that pick. You got to be worried about his health, though.
For sure. Mike Evans, 3-1. T.Y. Hilton, 3-2. Tyreek Hill, 3-3. Doug Baldwin, 3-4. And Zach Ertz at 3-5. So we are up now. We have 2 running backs already. Listen, we alluded to it a little bit earlier. I'm loving all the names on the board right now. So the suggested names are Adam Thielen, Travis Kelce, Stephon Diggs, and Demaryius Thomas. You still have running backs like Joe Mixon, Shady McCoy, Alex Collins, Kenyon Drake, Darius Geis, and Jay Ajayi on the board. And, to be fair, even though I don't like taking quarterbacks early, for those who do, Aaron Rodgers still on the board here.
For me, right now it's down to 2 guys. I've been pretty adamant that I like getting the tight ends early this year. And Kelsey's still being on the board right now. He's my tight end 1. So I do like that value. But I think the opportunity right here to get a Joe Mixon, a guy who's going to be the bell cow, as our flex, our 3rd running back, that's going to make our running back core pretty deep, pretty dirty. We're going to have the ability to withstand an injury if that happens. And if we get Mixon, that gives us 3 guys who have 50 catch potential. That's huge, in my opinion.
Is it bad that I agree with you? I was hoping you were going to tell me that we should draft Travis Kelce. And I love Travis Kelce. But in terms of PPR, in terms of what they bring to the table, with Jeremy Hill being gone, I feel like the end of the year last year, we saw a little bit more of Joe Mixon's potential. I was not on your and Josh's bandwagon last year, and it turned out rightfully so. This year, I am with you guys. I am completely on board. Joe Mixon is who, and look at that. Joe Mixon, Christian McCaffrey, and Saquon Barkley, a trio of just young studs that we are taking. I love it. We have.
They're all young. This is the prime age for the running back. In my personal rankings, we have 3 of my top 12 running backs.
I absolutely love it. Listen, you may say, what are you doing? You could have other wide receivers. The fact that I don't have to worry about now taking a Carlos Hyde. I don't have to worry about taking a LaShawn McCoy or an Alex Collins or a Lamar Miller. That comforts me.
Oh, yeah.
That is just comforting. For my stress issues, that is comforting. After we take Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen go off the board. Then Mike's boy, AA Aaron, off at 3-9. Shady McCoy at 3-10. Kelsey at 3-11. Amari Cooper at 3-12. Jarvis Landry at 4-1. Demaryius Thomas at 4-2. Tom Brady at 4-3. Darius Geis at 4-4. Alex Collins at 4-5. And Lamar Miller at 4-6. So we have 3 running backs right now, Tom. think it's fair to say we should probably address the wide receiver position or tight end for that matter.
Yep.
So right now they're suggesting Golden Tate, Allen Robinson, Russell Wilson, Alshon Jeffrey are their suggestions. So let's take a look here. The best running back available right now in terms of their top 20 rankings is Kenyon Drake or Jay Ajayi. Russell Wilson is still on the board at quarterback. That's actually kind of tempting. We both, I think, have Russell Wilson ranked above Tom Brady, and he's still on the board. Tom Brady is not. And then wide receiver, like you said, Golden Tate, Allen Robinson. And if we wanted to go tight end, the Greg Olsons and Evan Ingrams of the world are there. I'm going to jump ahead of you this time because I've agreed with you all along the way. I don't want our fans thinking that it's just me jumping on the Tom bandwagon here. I'm going to go with Allen Robinson. I don't see how, with the 3 running backs that we have, with that type of talent in a new type of offense, he should be the guy. He should be, it doesn't always work out that way, he should be Mitchell Trubisky's best friend. If he's healthy, if he can move, with him not starting on the PUP list this year, with him being in the practices, him playing, listen, we still got preseason in front of us, but right now, before a preseason game where he and Mitchell Trubisky play, I don't see how in the 4th round I'm not taking a number 1 wide receiver with the history of Allen Robinson and being extremely happy.
I like your suggestion. My suggestion was going to be AR-15 or Golden Tate. The only reason I'm suggesting Golden Tate, I think he's more of a for sure thing. He's giving us a high floor, which is something I think our team might need at that wide receiver spot. We've got those 3 stud running backs, so I think they're going to score a lot of points. And if we draft someone like a Tate, he finished last year's wide receiver 12 in PPR leagues, averaged 14 points a game. We get that steady 14 points a game added onto those running backs. I think that's a good call. But I think if we're trying to hit a home run, I think the pick's Allen Robinson. You make the call, Tim. Do you want a home run, or are you looking for a single or a double?
You know what? As you can tell by my 2 kids, I'm always going for the home run. So I am going to go with Allen Robinson, AR-15, which is, it's hard for me. I don't like picking players from my Chicago Bears. I don't, because they always seem to bite me in the ass. I'm hoping this year I'm wrong. I'm hoping Allen Robinson is the answer. We're taking AR-15. Scares me, but I love it.
He's got elite potential. He's got the chance to be an elite wide receiver in the NFL. Like the offense, I don't think we went wrong there.
Very interesting. The 3 players picked right after we pick AR-15. Golden Tate, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Cooks. That's in our Would You Rather episode prior. All, not Golden Tate, but 3 of those 4 guys were in there. This is the exact decision that we knew we were going to have to come across. Very interesting. After that, 4'11", Juju Smith-Schuster. Very interesting. 4'12" is Derrick Henry. 5'1", Jimmy Graham off the board. 5'2", Josh Gordon already, which I think is egregious because you don't know what he's going to do.
Don't like that.
5'3" is Evan Ingram. 5'4", Delaney Walker. 5'5", Duke Johnson. So they are now telling us at 5'6", we have 3 running backs. We have 1 wide receiver. Russell Wilson still on the board. Marvin Jones is there. Corey Davis is there. And Greg Olsen is there. This is tough for me. I'm going to take it again here, Tom. Everything in my soul tells me to take Greg Olsen. I don't like having a tight end and a running back on the same team. I just don't. It's dirty. I get it. And I hate taking a quarterback early.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said it in previous episodes. I don't want to take a quarterback before like the 10th round. But it's hard for me to stay away right now. It is extremely hard for me to stay away from Russell Wilson. I'm going to fight it. And I'm going to take the sure thing. I'm going to take a guy towards the end of his career and hope it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. Hold on. Before I say that, let's look at
what other receivers
wide receivers are left available.
Is there anyone with a high floor?
Marvin Jones, Michael Crabtree, Corey Davis, Chris Hogan, Sammy Watkins, Pierre Garçon, Emmanuel Sanders, Jamison Crowder. I don't like Crabtree. I don't like Jones. And you know what? I'm rescinding it. I don't care. I'm not taking Olsen. I'm breaking my own rule. I am voting to take Russell Wilson here in the 6th round.
I can't get on that board right now, Tim. I just think that quarterback spot's too deep. If we ended up with a Matt Stafford and a Phillip Rivers in the 9th and 10th round, I think our team would look better. We still have the holes.
Can I give you my logic?
Yeah.
My only logic is I think Russell Wilson is a good 30 to 50 points above those guys that you're mentioning. And the Marvin Jones, Corey Davis, Greg Olsons of the world, that difference is much smaller compared to who we could draft 1, 2, 3 rounds later.
What other tight ends are available? It's probably Olsen and then Rudolph, right?
Greg Olsen, Kyle Rudolph, Trey Burton, Jordan Reed, Jack Doyle, George Kittle, David Njoku.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to have to go with Olsen. I know for me personally, I'd rather have a tight end who can be elite, and I think Olsen can be that. Yeah, it kind of sucks having the tight end and the running back, like you said, on the same team, but I think those two might be the two most heavily targeted players on that football team. If I was making the pick, it'd be Olsen.
I'm going to agree with you this time, just because I do hate taking a quarterback that early.
I just don't. I know you like taking Reed later on in the draft. I know that's kind of your thing. You do
Or
like
Rudolph.
that right now. Yeah, I do like Rudolph as well, but I'd rather have Olsen right here. I think he's just more the for sure thing. 70, 80 catches, 800 to 900 yards, 6 to 7 touchdowns. That's clear cut tight end 5 numbers right there.
For sure. My only concern is that was the Greg Olsen of 2 years ago. What Greg Olsen are we seeing now? Aged a little bit. To Josh's point, I don't buy into it too much, but he's getting up there.
Yeah.
He's got other things going on, but I'm with you. We are taking Greg Olsen in this the 5th round. I'm sorry, I was saying 6th round earlier. In the 5th round, we now have 3 running backs, 1 wide receiver, and 1 tight end. After we take 1 Greg Olsen, we go Mark Ingram off the board at 5'7", Marvin Jones 5'8", Rashad Penny 5'9", Bob Woods 5'10", Kenyon Drake 5'11", Will Fuller 5'12", Deshaun Watson 6'1", Michael Crabtree 6'2", Emmanuel Sanders 6'3", Corey Davis 6'4", Russell Wilson finally goes at 6'5", followed by Kirk Cousins at 6'6". So now we're up, like I said, you have 1 wide receiver. We got our tight end. We're either going to have to go wide receiver or quarterback here. More realistically, it's going to be a wide receiver. And this is what I was afraid of. This is my little bit of a concern here. Our wide receivers on the board: Chris Hogan, Sammy Watkins, Pierre Garçon, Jamison Crowder, Randy Cobb, Bobby Anderson, Cooper Kupp, Devin Funches, Devontae Parker.
I'm a big Chris Hogan fan. By the look of your face, I know you completely disagree.
That's like liking like Vanilla Ice or...
What else do the Patriots have at the wide receiver spot? Yes, he has had an issue staying healthy. But when the dude's been on the field, been the clear-cut number 1 wide receiver, watch him in the Super Bowl when he was finally healthy. He torched that fantastic Philadelphia Eagles secondary. My suggestion would be Hogan here. I think he's got a pretty high floor. He's in a fantastic offense. He's gonna get a lot of looks. Plus, he's got a badass nickname, 7-Eleven, because he's always open.
I like, in terms of a number 2 wide receiver, I feel like Chris Hogan is too boomer bust. So in that Patriots offense, it seems like everyone on the Patriots offense is boomer bust. And especially if Gronk is healthy, everything in the red zone goes to Gronk. Or a run play up the middle. I like Sammy Watkins, as much as I hate to say it.
I like Sammy
as the number 2 in Kansas City with the young quarterback and that type of offense. Not a lot, there's a lot of specialty players there, but there's not a lot of other sure thing guys there, reliable guys there. I know Kelsey's there as well. Outside of Kelsey, I think I'd prefer Sammy Watkins over Chris Hogan.
I'm gonna try to convince you.
Okay.
Chris Hogan played 9 games last year. 6 games, scored more than double-digit points, including 2 over 20, and then 2 more over 17.
Does he play more than 10 games this year?
That's a big question.
Well, this is a wide receiver too.
Oh,
I need someone who will play, son.
I get that. But my reasoning is try to get a Cooper Kupp next round. Hopefully he falls to us. A couple other wide receivers. But I do like Sammy. In all honesty, this is a hot take. I think he could be I think he's going to be the Chiefs' number 1 wideout.
So do I.
Over Tyreek Hill. Let's go Sammy then. We
That's-
both like him.
I would like to. I would like to go Sammy. I just feel more comfortable with Sammy.
You just don't like white wide receivers.
You know, whenever you and Josh build this sentiment of me that I like for years now, that I hate black quarterbacks and I hate white wide receivers. You guys have built me up that way. It's not true. Not true at all. And hopefully the guy that you want is still there after this, because then we're taking him with the very next pick. Sammy Watkins is our pick. That's who we're going with. Sammy Watkins officially off the board. And let's see how this all plays out. After we take Sammy Watkins, Rojo the second, Chris Hogan, Julian Edelman, Kyle Rudolph, Carson Wentz, Devin Funches, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Matthew Stafford, and Matt Ryan. So we are up. They are recommending Jamison Crowder, Pierre Garçon, Andrew Luck, or Dion Lewis. So
What other receivers are available?
we have. Oh, I already know where we're going. We're not even going to discuss this. We have 3 running backs. We have 2 wide receivers. We have a tight end. Don't have a quarterback yet. But what do we need? Tom, this is a no-brainer in my opinion. Who did you say you wanted with Chris Hogan? Because you didn't care if Chris Hogan got injured. You were going to have this guy.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is still on the board.
Oh,
I
lock
think
it, yeah.
this is a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
If you are taking Bobby Anderson, Mr. Come in the Cop's Eye, if you are taking...
Wife's eye.
Oh, he's going to come in the Cop's wife's eye.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Randy Cobb, Jamison Crowder, or Pierre Garçon, even though I like Pierre
I
Garçon
do.
this year. But Cooper Kupp, lock down, no-brainer. And
Easy.
What am I? We're in the 7th round. I feel like this is simple. We now have 3 wide receivers that I'm happy with, interchangeable.
Play the matchups.
Play the matchups. They could be potentially a flex on bye weeks. We have 3 running backs. We have a stud tight end, big name tight end. I absolutely love our team at the moment. After we take Cooper Kupp, Jamison Crowder, Pierre Garçon, Devontae Parker, Randy Cobb, your boy, Mr. Robot Arm, Andy Luck.
What, in the 7th?
That was in the 7th.
Dang.
7-11 he went. Marquise Goodwin. 8-1 starts Jay Ajayi.
Ajayi win the 8th.
Yep. Jamal Williams, Kelvin Benjamin, Bobby Anderson, Sterling Shepard, and Trey Burton at 8-6. So we are up. They are telling us to draft Dion Lewis for our 4th running back, Big Ben Roethlisberger, Nelson Aguilar, or Jordy Nelson. So now is the interesting dilemma
This is when it starts getting
for
tough.
us. We have 3 running backs. We have 3 wide receivers. We have a tight end. So now is the point where I feel like you and I are on similar pages here, but what do we do? Do you fill the quarterback position early, or do you just keep building talent? I have always been one to just let's build talent.
I agree.
Make your team deep. Let's talk about let's go with best available. Okay, so you and I agree. Running back, wide receivers.
Yes.
Let's talk about those top 5 available. Okay. Running back right now we have Dion Lewis. Again, he's in Tennessee. A lot of love there for Derrick Henry right now, but you and Josh are still high on Dion.
Yeah.
Royce Freeman in Denver, who I know you like.
Lock it in.
Rex Burkhead, Sony Michel, or Tevin Coleman.
Sony's still available?
Yep. And then at wide receiver, we have Nelson Aguilar, Jordy Nelson, Kenny Stills, Marquise Lee, or Alan Hearns.
I want one of those 2 rookie running backs, Tim. Yeah, we got 3 studs ready, but if we get a Sony Michel or a Royce Freeman as our running back 4, I'd almost feel comfortable only having 4 on my team. I'm that confident in both of those guys. I'm higher on Sony, though. I know that knee injury is a little worrisome right now, But if he gets that Dion Lewis workload, he's got potential to be a top 15 running back this year, and we're getting him super late.
I almost like it's tough, Tom. I like both. You know, I'm way low on Freeman. You know, I'm way low on him. But on that Denver team, like, there's not a lot in front of him there.
No.
There's not a lot of other options there in front of him. And Sony I like, but it's such a crapshoot, New England. It's never. I would, if you want to go rookie, I would prefer Royce.
I'm fine with that. I think, personally, I think Freeman's probably safer. Right now, Denver has, I believe it was close to 350 running back touches gone from their football team. And Booker's still there. He's currently labeled as the starting running back.
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah, his big issue is going to be can he stay healthy? He was beaten out last year by C.J. Anderson. We know that regime wasn't too fond of him, so I don't think they're too fond of Booker either. He's still on that rookie deal. I think Freeman's going to be the bell cow there. He should be that workhorse. I just like the upside of Michelle more, but I think Freeman's safer, which that might be what we need right now.
Could not agree more. I think that Sony has the higher ceiling, like you said, but for our fourth running back, I'll take the safer pick. Someone we can implement in a bye week and be happy.
Yeah.
I am going with Royce Freeman right there. So, I like the way this draft's going. If any of your drafts go this way, you should be happy as well. After we take Freeman at 8-7, Tariq Cohen, Dion Lewis, Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead, Jordy Nelson, Tevin Coleman, Jacksonville defense off the board at 9-2. Nelson Aguilar, Marquise Lee, and Marshawn Lynch. So, four running backs, 3 wide receiver, right? Yeah, 3 wide receiver. We have our tight end. So, do we go quarterback or do we go wide receiver? I'll tell you right now. I feel like it's not even debatable. We're in the 9th round. I know I mentioned earlier I don't like taking a quarterback to the 10th. So I'm going to hold through that. The quarterback's still available. Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, Jimmy G, Pat Mahomes, Jared Goff. I'm okay with the team that we have if we don't get a Jared Goff. If he's the worst case scenario, the next round. And Allen Hurns still here. Potentially the number 1 wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys as our 4th wide receiver option. I feel like is gold.
What other receivers are there?
In all honesty, the wide receivers left available are Kenny Stills, Allen Hurns, Rashard Matthews, DJ Moore, Kenny Galladay, Cameron Meredith, Josh Doxson.
I'm gonna differ. I do agree with your Allen Hurns statement. He should be the number 1 wide out there in Dallas. I think a player with higher upside, who's got a potential to be more of an impact player for his team, a guy who's been a top 32 wide receiver the last 2 seasons in Miami, Kenny Stills. Jarvis Landry is gone. They're going to be having to throw the football around. They do have Danny Amendola will be working in the slot a little more, but he's had issues staying healthy. Albert Wilson, he's kind of unproven as well. I think Kenny Stills would be the better option. I think he is kind of boomer bust. Had a 7 games last year over double digits, which is all right. A couple monster games in there as well, but I think his numbers, his targets will all go up this year. Had 106 targets last year. I could see that going up to 120 or 130.
To determine who we're going to pick, I'm going to ask this question. Bye week happens, and you have to fill one of these guys randomly. So you're talking week 8, week 9, whatever it is, to fill. Are you more comfortable with Kenny Stills or Allen Hurns?
Kenny Stills.
Okay. Kenny Stills is our draft pick then. That's who we are going to go with. Taking the time to select one Kenny Mother Truckin' Stills. Drafted.
He's been a big play threat, but still a top 32 wide receiver in PPR leagues. That's impressive for a guy who's got the similar skill set as a Deshaun Jackson. and just hopefully his usage goes up. He's still young, only 26 years old, prime age for a wide receiver.
Our team right now, no quarterback. We have Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, AR-15, Sammy Watkins, Greg Olsen, Joe Mixon, and on our bench, Cooper Kupp, Royce Freeman, Kenny Stills. I'm confident right now.
I love it.
Love that. This might be my favorite team I've ever drafted. After Kenny Stills goes, Kerryon Johnson off the board. It's a great spot for him at 9-7. Rashard Matthews, DJ Moore, Jordan Reed finally off the board at 9-10. Carlos Hyde finally off the board at 9-11. Cameron Meredith, and then Alan Hearns at 10-1. Calvin Ridley at 10-2. Interesting. Philadelphia's defense off the board. Mike Williams at 10-4. Josh Doxson at 10-5. And CJ Anderson at 10-6. We are on the board. Tom, what do we do here? We need a quarterback. Need a defense.
I think it has to be quarterback. This is the prime spot when you're drafting like this. The next 2 rounds, I think we get quarterbacks we like.
You can get your guy right here. So the quarterback's still on the board. Big Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Jimmy Garoppolo, Patrick Mahomes, and Jared Goff. Just to prove a point, we started talking about the quarterbacks in the 8th round, went over these guys in the 9th round. They're all still here.
Yep.
In the 10th. You're going to see this a lot. Now, I feel like a couple of these names would be off the board if we wait one more round, but 10th round, that's your money round for quarterbacks. What do you think?
For me, I'm gonna say Big Ben. He has been known to miss some football games. The last 6 seasons, on a per-game basis, top 8 quarterback in the NFL. We're him in the 10th round. Very explosive offense. Get him, pair him with another guy, and I think we're set at the quarterback spot. I feel extremely comfortable. I like the weapons they have there. You got Le'Veon Bell, pass-catching running back, Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, Vance McDonald's making a name for himself in camp. I think Big Ben's the way to go here.
This is a guy that you and Josh preached to me last year. You can't start him on the road. Every other week you're going to be doubting, can I even play him? Can I play him? He's going up against tough defenses. He sucks on the road. He sucks on the road. He sucks on the road. With how similar they are, I am taking Pip Rivers. Never been a fan of his, but less controversy of when he can play well. He's been proven to play well all the time. He has his bad games here and there, sure, but he's never had the stigma of just being a home warrior, if you would. So I'm taking Pip Rivers.
I'm fine with that. I think Rivers would have a better chance of falling to us next round. But Pip Rivers is a guy I like. He was quarterback 8 last year, and standard scoring leagues, or for standard quarterback scoring leagues. So I feel comfortable with him. Been very consistent. As long as Keenan Allen's healthy, he's going to have a good year. That's pretty much how his the last few years have been.
My secondary thought here is taking Pip now, and in the next round, taking a Jared Goff. Because if Jared Goff continues that growth, listen, if he grows more on top of last year, he's then an elite quarterback. He's in that top.
He'll never be there.
He's in that top 12 range. Give me
him in his small hands. Not a fan of him.
You're such a douche. We are taking Phillip Rivers because I own the computer and I'm playing the trump card, Tom. Playing the trump card. After we take one Phillip Rivers, string of running backs go off the board. Your boy Marlon Mack, Chris Thompson, Isaiah Crowell, Martavis Bryant, the Rams defense, Dez Bryant, not even on a team, taken at 11-1. 11-2, Chris Carson. 11-3, Jack Doyle. 11-4, George Kittle. 11-5, Mohamed Sanu. All the guys. We could take Big Ben now. Still there.
That's who I would go with.
Yeah. The Ben Roethlisberger and Pip Rivers connection, you can go week by week.
That.
They're the same quarterback, essentially. You can pick who you like better that week. We're taking Big Ben. We're not even going to talk about it anymore. I feel like it's simple.
2 top 12 quarterbacks from the last season, and we barely had to put any draft capital into them. We're going to be playing the matchups, streaming it, and this team right now is rock solid.
Absolutely, it is. As we go on into the 12th round, let's see, after we pick Big Ben at 11-6, Charles Clay goes at 11-7, Ty Montgomery at 11-8, David Njoku 11-9, Nick Chubb 11-10, Matt Breida at 11-11, Michael Gallup at 11-12. We're starting to get to the Madden creative players now. 12-1, Austin Seferian Jenkins. 12-2, Patrick Mahomes. 12-3, Gio Bernard. 12-4, Aaron Jones. 12-5, Eric Ebron, which I love that late going to your Colts. 12-6, who the hell is that? Jordan Wilkins from the Colts? Jesus. Mary, Mother, and Joseph.
Got a chance to start.
We have 4 picks left. We still don't have a defense. We don't have a kicker. Our team right now, Phillip Rivers, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Allen Robinson, Sammy Watkins, Greg Olsen, Joe Mixon, Cooper Kupp on the bench, Royce Freeman on the bench, Kenny Stills on the bench, Ben Roethlisberger on the bench. Tom, where do you think we go here?
I'd like to know what defenses are available. I think there might be a few good values left, and I think we're pretty darn deep at wide receiver and running back. Got 2 good quarterbacks. So I think defense or some high upside running back or wide receiver play. But
you want to know what defenses are left?
yeah.
All right, we can do that. So the defenses that are left right now, we have here. Where are we at? Come on now. All right, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the LA Chargers are still on the board. Houston Texans, Denver Broncos, Baltimore Ravens, Saints, Patriots. I think it's a no-brainer, honestly.
Who are you looking at?
The Vikings.
For me, it's between Chargers and Vikings.
For sure.
I think Chargers have the higher upside, cause more turnovers. I think that secondary have very good ball hawks in that. Plus, they just added Derwin James. Finished 5th last year in defensive scoring. The Vikings were 11th. Vikings are pretty good at keeping points off the scoreboard, but I feel like either of those 2 options I'm okay with.
I'm with you. I will take the Chargers. Have no problem with that. LA Chargers, you're joining our team. Having Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa.
If Joey Bosa is going to miss a significant amount of time, this defense will drop quite a bit on my rankings.
Oh, for sure.
He did injure his foot in practice. I think it was today or yesterday.
Yeah, he walked off, though.
He should be all right, but those 2 pass rushers, Vikings have good pass rushers as well, but I like Ingram and Bosa a little bit more.
Fair enough. Let's move on here. We are getting close to the end of our draft. After we take the Chargers defense, Charles Clay. Nope, that was after Big Ben. I'm sorry. Alex Smith, Kenny Galladay, Deshaun Jackson, Tyler Eifert, Devontae Booker, Deonta Foreman, Corey Coleman, Theo Riddick, Bilal Powell, and James White. So we are up now. We still need a kicker, and where we got position players. Let's go with the best. We'll go best running backs available first. Still on the board, Nyheim Hines. Your boy's still on there. I like him quite a bit as well. Chris Ivory, Kenneth Dixon, and Austin Eckler, and layabouts Murray and Frank Gore and Doug Martin. All big names. LeGarrette Blount even still on the board. If we go to wide receiver, you still have Tyler Lockett, Anthony Miller, Tyrell Williams, Paul Richardson, Ted Ginn, Dede Westbrook, Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin's my boy. Especially right now, he's being labeled as a starter. He'll be lining up on the outside for that football team. D-Jax will be playing more in the slot. I like Godwin or Anthony Miller right here. The running backs, I do like Nyheim Hines. I think that's pretty good value right there. Can't really see him starting a whole lot for a football team, but getting him where he's at right now, I like that. And I'd probably suggest Hines, and I think Miller or Godwin would be available for us in the next round.
I agree completely. Hines is my pick. I just think with the position, him being our 5th running back, if Marlon Mack falls off the end of the flat world that some of these players believe in, and I mean, he's right there. He's already competing. I just don't see how with the value at that position. He's the 49th ranked running back, and he's our 5th running back. So
Perfect.
it's good value for us, and that is who I feel like we should go with. So that's who we're going with. Nyheim Hines. Drafted. Boom. Still need a kicker. Don't forget. Saving him for the last round, I believe.
We got 2 more picks.
Yes, 2 more picks. So as we move on here in our mock draft, we have Vikings defense goes Chris Ivory, layabouts Murray, LeGarrette Blount, Anthony Miller, Doug Martin, Texans D, Broncos D, Cameron Brate, Baltimore Ravens, Tampa Bay, and Austin Eckler off the board. I'm all for just taking the best player available at this point. In terms of running back, we already have 5 best available, though, are Kenneth Dixon, Frank Gore, TJ Yeldon, and Buck Allen. If we go to wide receiver, the best available are Tyler Lockett, Tyrell Williams, Paul Richardson, Ted Ginn, Dede Westbrook. I almost think we should take Tyler Lockett.
There's a chance right now that Doug Baldwin misses some time. Like we kind of brought up, and we keep preaching this, that Seahawks defense they're going to be trash. They're going to be having to pass the football. They're going to be down a lot in football games or in shootouts. I'm okay with Lockett. Would he be our 5th? Wide out.
Yeah, right now we have Cup, Stills. Yes, he'd be our 5th. AR-15, Sammy Watkins, Cup, Stills, and then it would be Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I'm fine with going with Lockett right there.
Yeah, that's who we are taking. Perfect position, 15th round. He's the 54th ranked wide receiver as our number 5 wide receiver. How are you not happy with that, Tom?
Our team's sexy. Now
Might be my favorite team out of any team, like ever, mocked, ever. In all honesty, I don't see how you're not loving it. Let me see here. We are getting to our last pick, our kicker. So after Tyler Lockett, Saints D goes, Seahawks defense, Patriots defense, Jimmy G finally off the board at 14-11. Goes to what we were saying about quarterbacks. Paul Richardson, Greg Zuerlein, Stephen Gostkowski, Justin Tucker, Matt Bryant, Mason Crosby. Everyone was on the same page as we were in terms of kickers. Will Lutz, Dan Bailey, Jake Elliott, or Matt Prater?
I'm going to go with Matt Prater.
Really? Detroit? I was going to go Jake Elliott.
Go Jake Elliott.
They score a lot of points, and even if they don't, they get close.
I just like Prater because he kicks in the dome.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, we'll go Matt Prater.
At least 10 of his games, or 9 of his games every year will be in a dome, which I do like. Pretty accurate, deep, from 50-plus yards.
So our grade, according to DraftWizard.fantasypros.com, our grade, A-.
It's all right.
91 out of 100. We did a good job there, I
Yeah.
feel like. Our team, you know what, let's talk about, I want to go to the team drafting at number 1, the team drafting at number 12, and then our team, and we'll compare. Team drafting at number 1 overall has Todd Gurley, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Derrick Henry, Jimmy Graham, Carson Wentz, Devin Funchess, Jordy Nelson, Tevin Coleman, Rams D, Dez Bryant, Devonta Booker, Deonta Foreman, Paul Richardson, and Greg Zuerlein. So, their starting quarterback is Carson Wentz. Their starting running backs is Todd Gurley and Derrick Henry. Their flex, they have a tight end in their flex position. They have Gronk and Jimmy Graham in a flex. And then their wide receivers are Devin Funchess and Jordy Nelson. I am not buying into that.
Nope. Our team's better than that. No question.
Not in a million freaking years. If you go on to the team that was drafting 12, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, Amari Cooper, Jarvis Landry, Will Fuller, Deshaun Watson, Marquise Goodwin, Jay Ajayi, Karen Meredith, Alan Hearns, Michael Gallup, Austin Severian-Jenkins, Doug Martin, Houston Texans, and Jake Elliott. Now, this is a team I can get behind. They have Deshaun Watson at quarterback, Melvin Gordon and Leonard Fournette at the running back position, Amari Cooper and Jarvis Landry at wide receiver. Their flex is a little bit in flux there. Will Fuller, Marquise Goodwin, or Jay Ajayi, or Cameron Mayer, and Alan Hearns even. And then their tight end is Austin Seferian-Jenkins. I like Team 12 better than Team 1, by far.
I agree with that. Team 1 kind of sucked. It was a crappy job by the computer right there.
It was.
But normally, 6, normally I hate that. This year, though, I'm kind of fond of picking at 6 or 7. So normally I'm finding that I can get a Saquon Barkley there, and I just absolutely love that. And I think he's worth that spot right there. In worst case, you get an Antonio Brown, which can't really hate on that either.
No, not at all. This is a playoff team that we built. This is a championship contending team.
This is how most teams that I will be drafting personally, the running back heavy early on, especially with the flex play, trying to get 3 right away. It's going to be hard to compete with our team.
That's all I have. Tom, is there anything else that you want to bring to the table here? Or I think we kind of beat it to death here. We did well.
Yep.
Outside, the only thing that scares me about our team is Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
If he falls off, we're going to have to find a tight end who can play if he gets injured or if he just falls out completely.
Yeah, that's really the only scary thing with our team. Quarterback, we got 2 of them streaming. That could hurt us. We don't have that elite option, but I think we got 2 guys that, with us streaming and picking the right matchups, I think they could put up top 5 numbers combined.
It will be very interesting to see. Tom, that's all I have. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at PonyKeg Sports. Follow Josh in his travels at PonyKeg Sports. Tom at Pony_Keg_Tom. And you can follow me at Fight Talk Tim. That's all I have. Until next time, peace.